And I told you this, last week when we met, that I've designed an external brain for myself, right?
You began to break it down.
Okay.
But do it again.
Okay, so we don't need to fully break it down. Basically what I'm trying to do, I read this book called Getting Things Done. The Art of Stress-Free Productivity, David Allen. I'm very weary of business books because most of the time it's a lot of fluff. And most of the time, these business books are already saying fundamentals that I already know through studying philosophy and stuff. Business books could be trimmed down to about like 15 pages. So out of like a 250-page book, you really have to sift through and figure out, oh, okay, like this is, a lot of it's fluff just for publishers to sell books and make money. This book I knew is something, what I've struggled with is, I have everything in my head right now, everything I gotta do, and like, I'm like all over the place. And so after kind of a year after reading this book, I started with this year where I just create a system for myself to review my actions and progress. Because if you don't review, which I haven't, at other times, it's like harder to improve. And so I've taken part of my routine every morning during breakfast. I go on ESPN.com and I look at all the box scores of the sports that whatever season is going on. So right now it's basketball. So I'll go through each box score from the night before and just look at the numbers to see kind of what's happening. And it gives me kind of the story. So I started doing that with myself. And so I have Google spreadsheets where I have weekly action items. And then I break it down. I have a spreadsheet with daily action items. So it's breaking down the weekly items to something a little smaller, a little bit more manageable. These are more like daily shots. And then I have, of the weekly action items, I have it broken up into professional, habits, and personal. So the habits are 5 things: meditation, journaling, reading, writing, and diet, exercise, something like that. So I track everything I do, and I set standards of what is considered a completion. So like 4 out of 7 days exercising, that's 1 notch, right? So then of the weekly action items, I visualize it like a free throw attempts. I have to hit at least 70% of these.
Okay.
And then for the daily actions, it's almost like a box score of a basketball player, where it's like, okay, yesterday I did 10 out of 16.
Okay.
Which isn't great, but it's not bad at the same time. And then throughout the week, you just kind of see all these numbers to the point where, and then so at the end of the week, I either get a win or a loss.
Okay.
So it's very objective. And so far, after 2 months, my record's 1-7.
Okay.
But what those losses have done is identified problems, areas of improvement where it's very clear what we have to do to get better. And so I'll set aside, something this book emphasized was setting aside time for yourself to actually review the week and like what's going on. So that's been enjoyable. Like on Monday morning, I'll sit down, go over all the numbers. Did we win? Did we lose? What percentages do we have? And just kind of write and then answer certain questions I came up with. And what's shocking is that where I'm failing most right now is being social. That's led to most of the problems I'm experiencing, which is crazy. You would think it's not a problem for me to go write a book.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
But since COVID, I've kind of developed some poor habits as far as being social, hanging out with friends. And it really affects other aspects of my life.
Definitely.
And It's crazy. I was talking to my friend Joe yesterday, and I told him this, and he was like, yeah, dude, I told you that in December when you visited me. Like, I was like, yeah, I know. I've known this. But then to actually see the numbers and the objectivity of it, I'm like, oh, wow, I need to make some changes.
Yeah.
So now it's like gamifying my life in a way where it's enjoyable, but the main advantage of kind of designing this external brain is that I can be as present as possible right now. I don't have to worry about any other thing because I have a whole system and process that takes care of that. That I have specific times to check in and complete. So nothing is in my head. I'm just like free in a way.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's really nice because you made a whole game out of the whole thing. I'm like curious because
Making life more fun that way. You know
For
what I
sure.
mean? Yeah.